So today's class is going to be more focused on hips and hamstrings. So we won't really be doing any vinyasa chaturangas today. So your upper body get a small bit of a break. So yeah, the hips and the hamstrings, if you're sitting a lot, they can get very tight, or if you're doing running maybe, they can also get quite tight. So it's good to just stretch them out. And in this class, the kind of focus will be on letting go. So letting go of anything that we store up in our hips, because they do hold a lot of our emotions. So if you feel anything coming up in the class, just try and breathe through it and let it go. So in our easy seat, if you can sit cross-legged, or maybe take your legs out more in front of you, whatever's comfy for you. And we'll just close our eyes down. You can bring your hands onto your knees. Just breathing in slowly and breathing out. In through the nose and out through the nose. Just noticing the air around you, how it feels on your body. Noticing anywhere there might be some tension. Send the breath to any of those areas. Inhaling and exhaling. So on the next inhale, we'll breathe in for 5 seconds and we'll hold at the top for 5. And we'll let it go for 5 and hold at the bottom for 5. Just a short pranayama, just to ground and center ourselves. So inhaling, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling. 3, 4, 5. Holding. 3, 4, 5. Exhaling. 3, 4, 5. Hold it there. 3, 4, 5. Inhaling. 4, 5. Hold it. 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 3, 4, 5. Inhaling. 3, 4, 5. Hold. 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 3, 4, 5. Hold. 3, 4, 5. Inhale again. 3, 4, 5. And hold it again. 3, 4, 5. And last time, exhaling. 3, 4, 5. And hold. 3, 4, 5. So just slowly let your breath return to normal. And try and inhale and exhale through the nose if you can, as much as possible throughout this yoga practice. So we call this ujjayi breathing. And you make a slight little constriction in the muscles in your throat, almost like you're whispering. So it should kind of sound like, if you can hear. So like you're inhaling through a constriction in your throat and exhaling. It's just a technique people use in yoga to kind of focus in on their breath. It's kind of hard to get the hang of it. So if you have to go normally through your nose or through your mouth, that's fine too. Don't stress out about it. And also in our yoga practice, we have 3 locks in our body, energetic locks. So one is called Mula Bandha. So Bandha means lock and Mula means root. So this is down in your pelvic floor kind of area. So it's kind of just lifting your pelvic floor muscles as if you're trying to hold in a P, just a light lift. And then we have Uddiyana Bandha in our stomach area. So it's drawing your navel back towards your spine. And also then the throat lock, which is called Jalandhara Bandha. So it's like when you breathe in and hold it, you get that little pit right in between your collarbones, and then you tilt your chin down into your chest. So usually in yoga, they try to keep these 3 locks engaged as much as possible during certain poses, but it's certainly the 2 on the bottom because it's quite hard to keep the one on the top always engaged. But again, don't stress out about it. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of years to kind of master these locks. So just something to kind of think about in today's practice. So from here, we're going to take some neck rolls. So on an inhale, twist your neck around, looking up, and exhaling to the left, looking down. Nice and slowly. Inhaling around to the right, looking up, and exhaling down to the left. If you hear any cracks and creaks, it's totally fine. If you have any sticky areas that you need to go slower, kind of work through into your neck, feel free to do so. Inhaling up. And exhaling down, we'll switch it over to the left. Inhale to the left and up. And exhale down to the right. Inhale to the left, look up. Exhale to the right and down. A few more at your own pace, inhaling. And exhaling. It should feel nice after looking at a screen all day. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. So come back to center. And we'll just do the same with our shoulders. So inhale, bring the shoulders forward and up to the ears, and exhale back and down the back. Inhale up, exhale back and down. Inhale up and exhale. And we'll switch, so take it back first, up to the ears and around to the front. Inhale back to the ears, exhale down. One more, inhale back, bring it up, and exhale down. So bring your left hand to your right knee and your right arm behind your lower back, and look over your right shoulder, just twist. Inhale to lengthen the crown of the head up to the ceiling, and exhale to twist deeper. Inhale here and exhale a little deeper if you can. Inhale, take it back to the front, and exhale, release. Take it over to the other side. Right hand on left knee, left arm behind the lower back. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, look over the left shoulder. Inhale to straighten up, and exhale, try and twist a little deeper. Inhale, take it back to center. And exhale. If you're sitting on something, you can take it out from underneath you now. And we'll just do a little seated cat-cow. So hands to the knees. Inhale, tilt the chest forward and shoulders go back behind you and look up at the ceiling. And exhale, tuck the chin around the back. And the back rounds out behind you. Press the knees away. A few more like that. Inhale, look up. And exhale, round the spine, looking down. Inhale it up. And exhale. So from here, we'll come on to all fours for our tabletop position. So our knees are under our hips, wrists under the shoulders, arms are straight, tops of the feet grounded to the mat. Inhale, sweep your right hand up, and exhale, thread it through the space between your left hand and your left shoulder, bringing your right shoulder and right side of your face down to the mat. Stay here if this is enough, stretching into your right shoulder. If you want a little bit deeper stretch, you can lift your left arm up off the mat and bring it up to the sky. Maybe you can take that arm and reach back and hook it around the inside of your right thigh, opening the left shoulder even more. Inhale here, sweep the left arm back up, plant it back down under your left shoulder, press into the hand, sweep the right arm back up and just roll out your right wrist and plant the right hand back down underneath the right shoulder. You repeat that on the left side. Inhale, sweep the left arm up and exhale, thread it through under your right shoulder and right hand. You can stay here if that's enough, or if you want a bit deeper, sweep the right arm up, looking up to the ceiling. You can stay here, or else take it for the bind, reaching around and clasping onto your inner left thigh, opening the right shoulder even more. Inhale here, exhale. Nice deep stretch on the left shoulder and the left side of the neck. Inhale, sweep the right arm back up and place it back down underneath your right shoulder, pressing into the mat, lifting up. The left arm comes up and just roll out your left wrist and plant it back down onto the mat. So from here, we'll do some cat-cow. So pressing into the mat with your palms, knees are strong in the mat. Inhale, drop the belly, tilt the pelvis back and up and look up at the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the upper back. Shoulder blades are wide, tuck the chin. Cat back. Inhale, come back to cow. Tilt the hips up towards the sky, lift the chest, look up. Drop the belly. And exhale, round the upper back, tuck the tailbone, press into the mat, pushing the ground away. Chin is tucked. Cat back. If you're more at your own pace, inhaling to cow and exhaling back to cat. Feeling the spine waking up, rolling it out fluidly like a wave moving through your back. If you want to add on some circles here, feel free. So on your inhale, your stomach is tilted, but you can kind of twist your hips and shoulders, making it more dynamic and fluid like a dance. And you can go back the other way, twist, dropping the belly on the inhale and rounding the spine on the exhale. Taking any movements you feel you need in your hips, your spine, your shoulders, your neck in this position. Letting go of any expectation about what it should look like or whether you're doing it right or not. Just feeling free when you're moving. Come back to center. And from here, we'll take it down onto our bellies. Bring your arms out to a T. And on an inhale, lift your right leg up and bring it over as close as you can to your left hand. Look to the right. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, place the foot back down. Just repeat on the left. Inhale, left leg comes up. Exhale, bring the left foot as close as you can to the right hand. And look to the left. Inhale, bring it back up. And exhale, place it back down. So from here, just come back up quickly to tabletop. Bring your legs around to the front, and we'll take it the palms of your feet to touch for pashimottanasana or butterfly pose. So just turn this way. So your soles of your feet are touching. The further away from your body your feet are, the slightly less intense it will be, and the further in your feet are to your bum, the more intense it will be. So keeping contact between your soles of your feet, just flutter your knees up and down like a butterfly. If that's enough, you can stay like this. If you want a little more, you can use your elbows to press into your knees and kind of make it a deeper stretch. Inhaling to lengthen the spine up. And if you like, exhale to fold a little over your feet. This is quite a deep stretch on your inner thighs. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, come back up to a straight spine and take it all the way down onto your back with your feet still touching. And just breathe into it here for a minute. Inhale and sigh out the mouth. So this is a nice pose because your lower back has got the natural spine or curve that it should have in the lower spine. So it's a nice one to reset the spine. Just letting gravity pull your knees down towards the mat. If you'd like, you can put your palms on your inner thighs and kind of press your knees down a little for a deeper stretch. On an inhale, bring your knees together and plant the soles of your feet into the mat. Lift up your right foot, flex it, and place it over your left knee. So this can be enough here. You can just press your right knee away from you. Or if you want a bit more, you can lift your left foot off the ground and thread your hands between the space of that your right leg has made over your left knee, and reach your hands behind your thigh and interlace your fingers, pulling your knee into your chest. Keep that right foot flexed. If you want a bit deeper, you can interlace the fingers around the knee. You can also use your elbow to press your right knee away from yourself to make it a deeper stretch in the quads and the hamstrings. The right glute. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, pull it in, and exhale, push that right knee away from the right shoulder. Inhale here and exhale, release the left foot back down to the mat, and we'll switch so the right foot is planted and the left foot comes up and crosses over your right knee. Left foot is flexed. You can stay here just pushing your left knee away from your left shoulder, or you can go for the bind behind the thigh or around the shin. You You can use your left elbow to press into the left knee to get a deeper stretch. Inhale and exhale. Should feel nice on your left glute. Inhale, release the right foot back down to the mat and uncross the left foot back down onto the mat. Inhale, bring the knees into the chest and hug them in. Cross the ankles and just rock yourself backwards and forwards a little until you can build up enough momentum to come up into a seat. And from here, we'll sweep our legs back behind us, setting up a high plank. So your shoulders are over your wrists, your arms are straight and strong, pushing the mat away. Ankles are over the toes. You're up on the balls of your feet, heels over the toes, and you want to tuck your tailbone as if you're trying to get your pelvis closer to your ribs. Pull the navel in towards your spine, activating our Uddiyana Bandha, our stomach block. And you have a round upper back, so like our cat back, your shoulders are protracted and broad. So this is your proper high plank pose. So always trying to avoid sticking your bum up or rounding too much to the upper back. Strong straight line in your body. So from here, bend your knees and tilt your pelvis up and just press yourself back slowly into downward facing dog. You can keep the knees bent first just to feel the straightness in your spine. Fingers are spread wide, gripping the mat with your fingertips. Index finger knuckle grounds into the mat. Forearms are firming in, shoulder blades are wide. Side body is long. Navel pulls into the spine. Hips are up and back. And then maybe you can straighten your knees and ground your heels down into the mat. If you can't, there's no worries. Just keep the knees bent and keep the heels off the ground, working on keeping your spine straight. So on an inhale, slowly, like a wave, from your down dog, shift your weight, come up onto the balls of your feet and just slowly shift your weight forward to your high plank. And again, bend the knees, tilt the tailbone towards the sky and slowly take it back to your downward facing dog. Breathing in here. And exhale it out through the mouth. One more like that. Inhale through the nose and a deep sigh out your mouth. Make it sound, make it feel nice. So again, on an inhale, come up onto the balls of your feet and slowly, like a wave, just bring your weight as slow as you can over your wrists, shoulders over wrists. And one more like that, bend the knees, tilt the tailbone up to the sky, and go back to your downward facing dog. Just finding some effort in the ease. Slowly, again, like you're a wave, imagine just slowly pouring yourself forward to your high plank. And exhale, bend the knees, tilt the hips up and back, and slowly back into your downward facing dog. Take a quick neck check here, nod your head yes and shake it no. And take any movement you want to, walking out your dog. Sometimes it's nice to step your feet little by little like a cat. And they do that thing with their paws. like this. And feel quite nice. So from here, slowly step, little by little, walk your feet towards your hands. You can stay with your feet wide, hips width distance. For our forward fold, Uttanasana. Your weight is in your toes, sit bones are over your hips. You can, of course, keep a bend in your knees, keeping your spine straight and long and allowing the weight of your head just to pull your upper body down towards the mat. Breathing here, inhale, exhale. Remembering that Ujjayi breath. Or just breathing in your own way. So from here, it might feel nice again to just nod your head yes and shake it no. Just feeling the weight of your head pulling your whole body towards the ground. On an inhale, keep a micro bend in your knees and tuck your chin slowly, vertebra per vertebra, roll up to standing. And the last thing to come up is your head. So from our Tadasana, our mountain pose, your feet are strong, grounded into the mat. Should lift your quads to engage your knees. So lift your kneecaps, to engage the quads. Tailbone is tucked under, the shoulder blades are back, hands by your side. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. And exhale, hinge from the hips, falling forward, forward fold. Inhale, come up to halfway lift. And exhale, take your feet as wide as your mat for a yogi squat, Vinyasa pose. Using this angle. So your feet are grounded down into the mat. Your upper arms are at prayer pose at your heart center. And you press your upper arms into your knees, and your knees press into your upper arms, trying to open out your hips. If you need to stay up on your toes, that's okay, because some people's ankles can't quite flex that way. It's quite a strong dorsiflexion in the ankle, so it can be challenging at first. It can also be easier if you have a blanket or something that you can roll up to keep the soles, the heels of your feet lifted. If you have a block and it's challenging, you can also make a little seat for your bum so that you can focus on pressing your knees away. This is called Malasana or yogi squat, so it's quite intense on the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, crown of the head reaching towards the ceiling. And exhale, upper arms pressing to the knees, knees pressing to the upper arms. Inhaling, exhaling. So we'll be holding things a little bit longer today. So finding some effort in the easiness. Inhale here and exhale. Move any props you had out of your way. Plant your hands and step your left leg back behind you. Keep your right foot in the middle of your mat and come up onto the knife edge of your right foot. From here, you can tint your fingers up and bend your right knee out to the right side and just kind of pulse up and down, inhaling and exhaling for an active pigeon. Inhale, plant your right foot back down on the mat. Make sure your right foot is on the right side of your mat and your left foot's on the left side, so like on train tracks. For a lizard lunge, so stay on your arms or on your hands, palms of your hands, and if you want to go deeper, you can take it down onto your forearms. Inhaling here. Exhale. If you're up here, that's fine. Maybe you need a block even to stay up higher. You'll still get the same stretch. If you want to lower the back knee because it's getting too intense, feel free to do so. It's called lizard lunge. If you're here and you're okay and you want to challenge yourself a little, maybe take your hands out to the sides for a flying lizard. You can feel that in the right quad, in the right hamstring, really opening up. On an inhale, lower the back knee down, untuck the toes, and come back up so your left hip is over your left knee, and straighten the right foot. Flex that foot for half splits. You might even need to walk your right foot a little further to keep the alignment in your hips and knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold over that foot. If you're up on your blocks, you can also stay up, trying to keep your spine nice and straight. Inhale, exhale over. Keeping that front foot flexed, you should feel a nice stretch in your right calf and hamstring. Inhale to lengthen the crown of the head, and exhale, maybe you can go a little deeper. Working with your breath, and knowing that when you send the oxygen to the parts of your body that maybe feel like it's struggling, but then you can go a little deeper, a little further. So you're telling your body it's okay. Inhale here and exhale, plant the sole of the right foot back down and sweep your arms up for Vinyasa, a little lunge. So there's a 90-degree bend in your right knee. Knee is over the ankle. You're sending your hips forward. Hips are square to the front of the mat. And you should feel that nice stretch on your left hip flexor. Arms up overhead. Inhale and exhale. Of course, if you need to be on your blocks, you can. Here you still get the same stretch. Inhale here, and exhale, send the hips further, deepen into the stretch. And inhale, frame the front foot with your hands, and exhale, slowly tuck the back toes and lift your back knee, and bring your left foot in to meet your right foot. Back in our forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, back to forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Arms up overhead, looking up. Fingertips touch, and exhale, hands back to prayer pose. We'll repeat that on the left side. So inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, fold forward. You can keep a bend in the knees if you need to. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Your hands can come to your shins if you need to, or if you need to rest on your blocks, keep your back straight, please do so. And exhale, folding forward. And again, we'll take it out for our Malasana, our yogi squat, your choice. If your heels are raised, or if you want to tuck something underneath your bum. So again, if you've got the mobility in your ankles, this should be okay, but eventually you want to try and keep your back super straight in this pose. My Mine is really not a good example because my ankles just don't stretch that way for some bizarre reason. Inhale, press the elbows into the knees press into the elbows, looking forward, trying to lengthen the spine. Inhale it up and exhale, plant the hands, and this time step your right foot back and shimmy your left foot into the middle of the mat. Tent it up on your fingertips for our active pigeon, pulse up and down. The left knee drops out to the left, strong back foot, ball of the foot over the toes. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhale. Inhale, plant that left foot, making sure it's on the left side of the mat and right foot's on the right side. Stay up on your palms or take it down onto your forearms for lizard lunge. Inhaling here. Exhale. You can, of course, drop that back knee if it's getting too intense. If you want a challenge, you can bring your arms out to each side. Or flying lizard. Eventually trying to clasp for the bind. Holding your balance. Take it back to your forearms if you were trying the flying lizard. Come back up onto palms. Drop the back knee. And straighten the left leg out for our half splits or amplifications. Right hip over right knee. Left foot is flexed. Toes trying to point towards your nose. Inhale, straighten the spine. And exhale, fold over the front leg. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, maybe go a little deeper. Breathing into it, feeling that stretch in the calf and the hamstring. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, maybe you go a bit deeper. Inhale, plant your left sole of the foot down and bend into the left knee. Knee over ankle, 90-degree bend. And sweep the arms up. And send the hips forward for vinyasana, low lunge, looking up. Hands touch overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, send the hips forward and lower. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale. Trying to pull your navel in towards your spine. Trying to lift the muscles in your pelvic floor. Inhale here and exhale. Plant the hands in front of to frame the left foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Bring the right foot in to meet the left foot. Halfway lift, inhale coming up, flat back. Knees can be bent if you need. Exhale, fold forward. Weight is in the toes. Sit bones are over the heels. Long straight spine. You can of course bend the knees if you need. On an inhale, bend into the knees and sweep the arms up for our chair pose or utkatasana. Hips lower back as if you're sitting in an imaginary chair. Tailbone is tucked, chest is lifted. Look forward or up. Inhale here. Exhale, try to lower. Inhale. Exhale. Looking down at your feet, making sure you can see your toes. Weight is in the heels, so lift the toes if you can to check. And then place them back down. Inhaling. exhale, lower. Inhale, slowly straighten the knees. Come up to stand, palms touch, look up. And exhale, hands back to heart center. Adding on, so inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. And exhale, take the feet out wide for our yogi squat. Inhale, lengthen the spine up to the ceiling. Exhale, trying to get the sit bones closer down to the ground. Knees pressing into upper arms pressing back into the knees. Inhale, plant the hands on the mat. Step your left leg back behind you. And lower it down the forearms for your lizard lunge, your variation. Keeping the back leg strong if the knee isn't down. Ball of the foot is over the toes. Looking forward. Exhale, lower the back knee and tuck the toes, straighten the front leg for our half splits. Ardha Hamstrings, flex that foot. Inhale here, exhale to lengthen over the foot. Squaring off the hips, so you're keeping your left hip pressing towards the front of the mat as your right hip draws back to keep both of your hips pointing towards the front of the mat. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, plant the right foot down. Send the knee over the ankle. Send the left hip forward and sweep the arms up. Vinyasas. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, sweep the arms down to frame the right foot and tuck the back toes and lift up onto your, plant the back foot down so it's 45 degrees angled, making sure you're on your train track, so your right foot is on the right side of the mat, left foot's on the left side, hips are squared. Coming up for our pyramid pose, so you can actually inhale and bring your hands to your hips. Exhale, lower over the front knee. Keep a micro bend in that knee if you need to engage the muscles. Inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale to fold over for pyramid pose. If you need to use your blocks here, feel free. Place them under your shoulders. And exhale, fold over using your blocks as support. So again, working on squaring off your hips. This time your right hip is pulling back as your left hip pulls forward. Imagining if you had flashlights on your hips, they're shining towards the front of the mat. Inhale to lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold deeper over the front leg. You really feel that in the right hamstring and quad. Breathing into it, send the breath to where you feel the discomfort. Exhale, let it go. On an inhale, pivot your back foot so that it's in line with your front foot, like you're on a tightrope. You come up for a triangle pose. You can keep a micro bend in the front knee, but trying to keep that leg straight, so not really bend, but just a tiny bend to engage the quads. So inhale, you can use a block to keep your hand, right hand under the right shoulder next to your right foot, and sweep the left arm up and over. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. One long straight line in your body. Imagine if your shoulders are pressing against the wall, so you want to keep your shoulders stacked one on top of the other. And length into the side body. So you can just, if you just dump down like this, it's not right. You want to keep a long upper body. Inhale, look up at your left fingers, or if you have any pain in your neck, look down at your right foot. Inhaling. Exhaling. Hips are open in this pose, so if you imagine your flashlights again, they're shining towards the long edge of your mat on the left side. Inhale, plant the left hand down and pivot your right foot so that it faces the left long edge of your mat. And is it in parallel with your back foot? And come up, plant the hands under your shoulders. If you need to use your blocks here, you can just stay here for your forward bend. Fine. If you want to take it a bit deeper, you can exhale, hinge from the hips, keeping the spine long and straight, crown of the head trying to ground down to the mat. As you fold forward for our pashimottanasana, extended wide leg forward fold. If your hands are touching the mat and not on blocks, you can play with maybe walking your hands through your legs and trying to use them to draw your upper body further down towards the ground. Keeping a long straight spine. Imagining eventually the crown of your head comes to meet the ground. Inhale here. Exhale. You might play around with your stance. So some people find it better to bring their feet closer in together. Some people find it better to slide their feet out. Find a spot that works for your body. Inhaling. Exhaling. Trying to keep the hips squared over the ankles. Breathe down the breath to the backs of the legs. They're probably burning now. Breathe through it. Slowly, nothing lasts forever. This moment will be gone soon. On an inhale, plant the hands back under the shoulders and walk your hands around to the left so they're in line with your left toes. And as if you're trying to look at your own bum, turn your head to the left and just feel that stretch in the right side body. Inhaling here, exhaling. Hips are still straight. Inhale, exhale, take it back to center, hands under the shoulders. And we'll take it over to the right side, so walk the hands over to the right foot and stretch the left side of your body like you're trying to look back at your bum. Check out your own bum. Inhaling here. Exhaling, feel the contrast between the left side body nice and long while the right side body is crunched and contracted. Inhale here. Exhale, walk it back to center. Fold over deeply once more. Inhale to come up halfway. And exhale, take it back down. Inhale, take the hands back under the shoulders, come up halfway. And exhale, turn the right toes towards the front of the mat. Walk the hands back around to frame the right foot. And bring the left foot in to meet the right. Coming up for halfway lift. Flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Weight is in the toes. Inhale, bend into the knees and sweep the arms up for chair pose. Hips are low. Ribs and navel draw into the spine. And exhale, sweep the arms out and back to prayer pose, back to standing mountain pose. So we'll do that again on the left side. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, looking forward. And exhale, pivot the feet out as wide as your mat, sinking the hips down to our yogi squat. Hands are in prayer. Upper arms pressing into the knees, knees pressing into upper arms. Spine is long and straight, looking forward. Inhale, plant the hands on the mat and step the right foot back. Palms are under the shoulders. For your lizard lunge, strong back leg. Ball of the foot is over the toes. You can take it down to the forearms for a deeper stretch. You can take it out to the sides, the arms out in front of that left leg for your flying lizard. Inhale, plant the hands back under the shoulders, lower the back knee and tuck the toes, straighten the left leg, flex that foot for your half splits, Vinyasana. Right hip is over right knee, front foot is flexed. Inhale to lengthen the spine, exhale to fold over. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Sending the breath where it needs to go. Inhale, plant the left sole of the foot down and send the hips forward. So your left knee is over the left ankle, 90-degree bend in the leg, and sweep the arms up, Vinyasa. Inhaling here and exhale, bend deeper and send the hips more forward. Chest is lifted, ribs and navel draw in. Hips are squared towards the front of the mat. Should feel a nice stretch in your right hip flexor and outer hip. Inhale here, exhale, plant the hands in front to frame the left foot. Tuck the back toes and lift the knee. And set the back foot down at a 45-degree angle, making sure you're on your train track, so opposite sides of the mat. Your front leg is straight, but keeping a slight micro bend just to protect your knee. Coming up to a straight spine, hands on the hips. You can stand up fully if you want. Inhaling to lengthen the spine, crown of the head reaches for the ceiling, and exhale, fold over the front leg. Hands can come down to frame the foot, or it can come to blocks, your choice. You know what feels best in your body. Inhaling here and exhale to go that little bit deeper. Hips are square. Left hip is pulling back while the right hip pulls forward. Breathing. Imagine your feet energetically are trying to pull towards one another. So grounding into your feet more. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, maybe you go a little deeper. The longer we hold these poses, the more our body learns that it's okay. It doesn't need to fight or fly. So we're hacking into our nervous system, letting it know it's okay. Inhale, come up halfway, plant the hands, and take it, twist your left foot towards the right side of your mat. So you're in your wide-legged forward fold. I'm just going to twist it around so you can still see me. Inhale in here. Hands can be under the shoulders, or palms can come flat to the mat, in line, fingertips in line with your toes. Inhale in here, exhale, fold. You can, of course, stay up on your blocks if this is enough for your body. Inhaling here and exhaling. If your hands are planted in line with your feet, you can try walking them back through the legs and using your hands to kind of gently nudge your upper body more deeply into the stretch. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold deeper. On an inhale, bring the hands back out under the shoulders and walk them over to the right, framing your right foot and taking that little twist, trying to look behind yourself. Leg through the left side body as the right side body is contracted. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, take it back to the center. Take the hands over to the right side, or the left side, sorry. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhale, turn to look over the left shoulder. Feeling the stretch in the right side body as the left side body is contracted. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale, take it back to center. Hands are under the shoulders. Inhale deeply, and exhale, fold it in once more. Inhaling and exhaling. Using your breath to get deeper. Imagining the crown of the head eventually coming towards the mat. Play around with putting your weight into your toes. See how that feels. Hips are over the heels. Exhale, go deeper. Inhale, come back halfway. Fingertips are under the shoulders. And exhale, twist your right toes so that they're back pointing towards the front of your mat. Maybe your left for you because I twisted around. And exhale, bring your back foot in to meet your front foot. Looking out, halfway lift, flat back. And exhaling, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend at the knees, sit into your imaginary little chair. Sweep the arms up, tailbone is tucked, chest is lifted, looking forward. or amplifications, share pose or fierce pose translates. Looks like nothing, but it's actually really hard. Inhale here, exhale, sink the bum a bit deeper if you can. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, straighten the legs, sweep the arms up, overhead, look up. And exhale, bring the hands back to heart center, prayer pose. Inhale in here, we'll take one clearing exhale out through the mouth. Again, inhaling deeply through the nose. Inside out the mouth. Inhale, we'll sweep the arms up, look up. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, and this time step the left leg back and then the right leg back for a high plank. Tailbone is tucked, shoulders are wide, navel draws into the spine, balls of the feet over the toes, wrists under the shoulders. Hands are pressing to the mat, arms are straight, pushing the ground away. Inhale here and exhale, bend the knees, tilt the tailbone towards the sky and slowly float back to your downward facing dog. Inhale here, sweep your right foot up and back behind you. You can keep your left foot grounded down, or if you're up on the ball of the foot, that's fine. Bend your right knee and open your right hip. Look under your right shoulder. Inhale here. And exhale, sweep your knee over to your left tricep. See if you can hold that here. It's quite hard. Inhale. And exhale, send your left foot onto the ground in front of you in line with your left fingers. Roll onto the sole of the back left foot and sweep the left arm up for a fallen triangle, looking up at your left fingers. Inhaling here, exhaling. See if you can lift that right foot up. And put it back down. Exhale, plant the left hand back onto the mat. Lift that right knee into the chest. And slowly turn onto the knife edge of your back left foot as you bring your right knee back behind you and step onto your right toes. You can bend at the knees if you need to, kind of like a weird squat. And then press into your left hand and your left foot and your right toes. Lift your right arm up over you for wild thing. Inhaling here. Exhaling. On an inhale, pivot back around, looking down at your left hand. Pivot onto the left toe. Slow as you can, bring your right knee into your chest and land it down in line with your left hand. That's really hard, so if you did that, well done. And inhale here, step your right foot back to meet your left for a high plank, and tilt your hips up and back slowly to our downward facing dog. So just because we don't have any vinyasas today, doesn't mean it's still not hard. Inhale, lift your left foot up and back. Bend the left knee, open the hip, look out under your left shoulder. You can make any movements with your left knee, making circles just to open that hip. And on the exhale, come forward to your plank and bring that left knee to your right tricep. And straighten the left leg out in line with your right fingertips. For fallen triangle. Press into the left palm and sweep the right arm up. Grab down into the back foot. Looking up. See if you can lift that foot. Put it back down. Exhale. Bend into the left knee. Tuck it in like a tiger curl. Come onto the outer edge of the right foot. Slowly bring the left toes down behind you. Pressing into the knees. Sweeping it up for wild thing. Pressing into the right hand, right strong arm. Inhaling here, exhaling. Inhale, slowly look down at your right hand. Bring your right knee into your left knee into your chest. See if you can, slow as you can, bring it to the top of your mat. You can even help it a little. Inhale here. And exhale, bring your right foot in to meet your left. Inhaling up, halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Looking up. And exhale, hands back to heart center. So inhale here, come down sitting on your mat. The hard stuff is over. And from here, you might want to shake out your legs a little in front of you. I'll just face forward so you can see. Bring your right foot in and flex that right foot. Bend at the knee and just try to lift it towards your forehead. Just inhaling it up and exhaling it down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And maybe you can flex that foot and bring it into your inner left arm, up on your bicep kind of area, and then kind of cradle that leg, make a little basket with your hands and rock the leg left to right, really opening up the hip. Like your leg is a little baby. So if you want to try something kind of weird, you can keep that height in your right leg, and bring it, snuggle your right shoulder in under, and then bring your right hand onto the mat. And maybe, if you have it, you can slide the left leg back in closer to your bum and try and straighten through the right leg. Inhale, bring it back. Straighten that leg back out. If you have the strength, maybe you can do like a little elephant lift. Easier if you have blocks, because you can cheat and get yourself a bit higher off the ground. You just press yourself up. Release that down. Shake out the leg. Try it on the left side. So bring the left foot in and flex it. Inhale it up and down. Bring the sole of the foot into the right bicep. Make your little baby basket. And sway your left leg left and right. If you want to try elephant trunk, it's not the official name, but kind of a made up name because your leg looks like an elephant's trunk when it's over your shoulder. You can do the lift first. That might actually be better. Let's try and keep that left foot flexed, pressing in and lifting yourself. It's quite a challenging one. And then bring your right knee in if you have the grip of your left foot, so the outside of your left foot with your right hand. Bring your left hand down to the mat and try and straighten it and look out under your right shoulder. Inhale and exhale, bring it in, let it go, shake it out. Move anything out of your way. So from here, bring your right foot so your shin is parallel with the front of the mat, and take your left foot back behind you. Keep that right foot flexed or pointed, but definitely engage in making sure your right knee is beyond your right hip on the mat to protect your knee. So tuck the back toes and lift the back knee so that you can get deeper down onto your hip. If it feels better to snuggle a blanket or something in under your right hip, do so. Inhale to lengthen up the spine. And exhale, fold onto your forearms. You can stay here if this is enough. Exhale, take it down halfway or walk the hands out, and exhale, take it down all the way. This is strong hip opener, a nice stretch after sitting all day. This releases the piriformis muscle, which is the muscle that gets tight and presses on your sciatic nerve, which is what causes a lot of lower back pain, especially if you're sitting a lot. Inhaling, sending the breath. Letting go. Not clinging on to anything that happened or anything you did or didn't do. The moment is gone. Doesn't matter. And just like with our breath, you don't hold your breath waiting for a better breath to come. You just let it go. Because you know another one will come. So in our life, if we hold on to anything like anger, anxiety, or breath, then we cannot be free. Just trying to accept things as they are and let them go. Inhale, bring your hands back under your shoulders. And exhale, bring the left foot around. And we'll just switch it out. So the left leg is straight in front of the mat. Foot is flexed or pointed. Knee is outside the hip. Back foot is straight. Tuck the back toes and lift that knee and try and get your back thigh further down onto the mat. It will help to ground your hip down further. Inhale, you can stay up here for a bit. grounding down into the hips. If your left hip is very raised up, you can use something to tuck in under to make it more comfortable. And exhale, take it down to the forearms or all the way down. Chest and forehead come to the mat. Inhaling here. Exhaling, letting go. Surrendering into the pose. Noticing that effort and the ease. It should be easy, but not really. Surrendering to anything that comes up. Sometimes it takes more strength to just let things go. To accept and surrender. Sending the breath where it needs to go in the body. Inhale, bring the hands back under the shoulders and press back up. Swing your right leg back to the front and take anything out that you had underneath your hips. Bring your legs out straight in front of you and shake down them. Sitting up nice and tall and straight. Sit bones ground into the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. And exhale, fold over the legs, keeping the feet nice and flexed. If you're here, that's fine. If you want to use a strap or a belt or whatever you have handy to hook around your feet and kind of pull yourself deeper into the stretch, you can. Trying to catch onto either your big toes, tops of the feet, or the outsides of the feet eventually. Inhale here and exhale. Surrender. Inhale, lift the head and come up halfway. And exhale, come up all the way. Making sure there's nothing behind you. Exhale, roll back down onto your back. And if you have any shoulder or neck pain, just take maybe a waterfall pose so you can put a nice cushion or blanket under your lower back and raise your legs straight up so the soles of your feet point towards the ceiling. You can raise your arms up too if you like, or just keep your arms relaxed down on the mat. You can stay here, just letting gravity do the work. Or if you want to, inhale, lift your hips up into shoulder stand. So if you have any neck or shoulder pain, I don't really recommend doing this pose, so stay in the waterfall. So try and get your hands or come to your lower back to support, and try and bring your elbows in as close as you possibly can. Toes touch, feet are pointed, legs are straight. one long line with your body. It should look like a candle flame. Inhale here. You can stay here or exhale. Slowly lower the feet down behind you, behind the head, for Halasana or cloud pose. When the feet come to touch the ground behind you, you can interlace the fingers and spread them out behind your back. The toes can be tucked. You can, of course, keep your hands at your lower back if you need the extra support. Toes can be tucked for a nice calf stretch, or in the traditional variation, your toes are untucked. The tops of the feet reach to the floor. Inhaling here, you can stay here or exhale. Bring the knees in so they're at either side of your ears. Ear pressure pose. And now bring the legs back out to straight behind you. Exhale, bring the hands to the low back. And slowly, vertebra per vertebra, lower your back body back to the mat. You can plant the palms again as brakes. As slowly, as controlled as you can, sweep the knees down over your face, so eventually your mid-back, your sacrum, and your lower back come to touch the mat. And exhale, the legs back down. Inhale here, exhale, let it go. If you have a block for this pose, it might feel nice to put it right under kind of where your grass wrap would go. And just drape your upper body over the block. And let's stretch on the chest. If you don't have a block, you can shimmy your palms so they're on the mat underneath your bum. And bring your elbows as close as you can. Toes are touching, feet are pointed. And bring the crown of your head back down to the mat for fish pose. Inhale, tuck the chin, slide the elbows out. Release. Back down onto your back. On an inhale, lift your right leg up. And if you can, catch your big toe with your peace fingers, do so. If you can't, you can interlace the fingers around the back of the calf or the thigh. Inhale here and exhale. Pull your chin towards your shin, your shin towards your chin. Pulling the right leg in as close as you can to your head. Inhale here and exhale. Take it out to the right. The right arm comes out to the right, look right. If you have a strap, it can be nice in this pose to hook it around your foot and let the strap take the weight. Allows you to keep your legs straighter, keeping the hips and shoulders grounded onto the mat. Look to the left as your right leg twists to the right. Taking it as far down to the ground as you can, provided you don't have furniture in the way. Like me too. Inhale, bring the leg back up to center. If you have the strap, catch the strap now with your left hand, or if you're holding your big toe, switch to the left hand and exhale. Twist the right foot over towards the left as you bring the right arm out straight and look to the right. Shoulders stay grounded onto the mat. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, take the leg back up to center, and exhale, release. Back down to the floor, and we'll switch sides. So if you have your strap, hook it around your left foot. If you're catching it with if you're able to hold it with your big toe with your peace fingers, you can do that, or you can interlace your hands behind your calf or your thigh. So with your right hand holding either your toe or your strap or your leg. Inhale here, and exhale, take it out to the left. Right arm is out to the right, looking right. Keeping the shoulders and hips grounded onto the mat. And that stretch in the hamstrings, the outer hip, and the groin. Inhale, bring it back up to center. And switch the hands. Bring the left hand out to the left side. And exhale, twist the left leg over to the right as you look to the left. Breathing deeply. The shoulders are grounded on the mat. Inhale, take it back up to center. Exhale, release the grip or the strap. Inhale, bring your knees into your chest. Exhale, curl up like a little ball, hug your knees in. Inhaling here, exhaling, try and get your forehead as close to your knees as you can. Inhale, exhale, curl up as small as you can. Put everything in. Inhale, exhale, release your legs out to each corner of the mat. Your hands come out by your sides, palms facing up. Take a deep inhale here. And sigh out the mouth. Letting go. Let go of control over the breath. And let go of control over any of your muscles. Softening the space between your eyebrows. Softening your shoulders down to the mat. Hips soften. Knees, ankles. All of your joints are relaxed and softened. Just allow yourself to melt into your mat. Slowly start to bring your awareness back to your body, and back to your breath. Make some small movements with your fingers and toes. Rolling out your wrists and ankles. Bring your big toes to touch the point of your feet. Bring the arms up overhead as you hook your thumbs. Take a big morning stretch, inhaling. Stretching. Exhale. Inhale, roll onto your right side, hugging your knees into your chest. Make a little pillow with your right upper arm. Taking a little moment to prepare yourself to re-enter back into the world after your yoga practice. Keeping your eyes closed on an inhale, press into your left hand and come to an easy seat. Hands can come onto your knees or into prayer pose at heart center, your choice. Just taking a moment here. Noticing how you feel now after your practice. What's shifted, what's changed. I'm thinking about our theme of letting go. Letting go gives us freedom. And freedom is the only condition for happiness. Take a moment here to thank yourself for taking this time for you, and thank your body for everything it can do for you. Take the hands up to the space between your eyes and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.